There's a quiet kind of thief that lives in all of us. It doesn't steal our money, it steals our days, our energy, our dreams. And the worst part? We invite it in. We even thank it for staying. We call it an excuse. Today, I'm not here to yell at you about discipline. I'm here to show you the truth we both know, that the life we want is hiding just on the other side of the reasons we give for not starting. And once you see those reasons for what they really are, you can never unsee them. Chapter 1. The Gentle Weight of Excuses. I think we've all mastered the art of the quiet no, not the one we say to other people, the one we whisper to ourselves when no one else is listening. It arrives without effort, without thought, like a reflex. Someone asks, "Why didn't you go to the gym?" You have an answer before they've even finished asking. "It was too crowded. Traffic was bad. I needed to catch up on laundry." The reasons sound perfectly reasonable, almost noble. I remember not too long ago, I found myself standing in the kitchen, staring at a sink full of dishes. My back ached. At least that's what I told myself. And so, the dishes stayed. It wasn't just the dishes. It was work projects, exercise plans, even small personal goals. All paused, postponed, delayed, waiting for some perfect condition that never actually came. Maybe you've done the same. Maybe you've told yourself, "I'll start once things calm down." But here's the truth that took me years to see. Things rarely calm down. Life doesn't send invitations for the perfect time to begin. It throws pebbles, sometimes bricks, into the path and waits to see if we step over them. Excuses feel gentle. They don't yell. They don't demand. They wrap around you like a blanket on a cold morning. But stay in them too long, and they'll weigh you down until you forget what moving forward even feels like. And here's the thing. Once you see them for what they are, you can't unsee them. That's when you start noticing the patterns. And those patterns, they have a way of feeling almost too comfortable. Which brings me to something I want to tell you about next. How excuses become a home you didn't mean to build. Chapter 2. The Comfortable Cage. Excuses aren't always loud. Most of the time, they're quiet. They arrive dressed as logic, reason, and self-care. "I'll do it when I have more time. I'm just not ready yet." They sound harmless, like they're protecting you from failure. But in reality, they're a cage with soft walls. You can stretch out in them. You can decorate them. You can even convince yourself they're a safe place to be. The tricky part is, the door has no lock. You could leave at any time. But leaving would mean stepping into the unknown. And the unknown is uncomfortable. I think about a time when I skipped a run because I didn't have the right socks. It sounds absurd now, but in the moment, it felt valid, like a genuine reason to wait. I didn't realize then that I was building a habit, not of running, but of avoiding. Every small choice to delay became easier the next time. Perfection made it worse. If I couldn't do something flawlessly, I wouldn't do it at all. One missed workout, the whole fitness plan was over. One slip in my diet, I might as well make lasagna. I called it starting fresh later. But it wasn't fresh. It was me, starting over in the same place again and again. And sooner or later, I had to ask myself the question I'd been avoiding. If the cage door's open, why am I still sitting inside? The answer wasn't about time or readiness or the right socks. It was about me. Which takes us to the part of the story where the mirror comes out. Chapter 3. The mirror. At some point, I had to look in the mirror. Really look. And what I saw wasn't flattering. It wasn't the world holding me back. It was me. I had built this fantasy of a future self who would save me. They were disciplined, focused, capable of turning any bad habit into a good one overnight. But every time tomorrow came, it was still just me. Same posture, same habits, same half-drunk cup of coffee on the desk. I've waited for Mondays to start a project, even if it was Tuesday. I've told myself I was too busy to work on my dream, while spending hours scrolling aimlessly through my phone. I've justified doing nothing by calling it rest, when really it was fear dressed in soft clothes. Fear doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just suggests you take a break. Sometimes it whispers, "You'll do better later." And the longer you listen, the easier it is to believe. But belief is a powerful thing. And if you can believe an excuse, you can also believe in the small, consistent steps that lead somewhere better. And that's the realization that changed everything for me. Not in some cinematic way. There was no dramatic speech, no music swelling in the background. The change was quieter, more ordinary, and it began with a single, almost forgettable decision. Chapter 4. The Turning Point. The shift didn't happen in a burst of inspiration, it was smaller than that. One morning, I decided to take a walk, not a run, not a workout, just a walk. It felt too small to matter, but something about it stuck. The next day, I walked again, a little farther, a little faster. It was such a small act that I almost didn't notice what was happening. I was building a habit, and not the kind made of excuses. Discipline, I realized, isn't about grand gestures. It's built in the smallest choices. It's brushing your teeth every day, not because you love it, but because the alternative is worse. It's making your bed, not because you need a perfect bedroom, but because it's a quiet way to claim the day. And here's something I need to tell you. The excuses never go away. They're still there, waiting. They still sound reasonable. They still feel comfortable. But with each small step forward, their voice gets quieter. And when that happens, you start to see the cage for what it really is, a place you never needed to stay in. Which leads to the part I want to leave you with, walking out of that cage for good. Chapter 5. Walking out of the cage. If you've been sitting in the comfort of your own excuses, I want you to know something. You can leave. Not in a week. Not on Monday. Not when things calm down. Now, you don't need to feel ready. You just need to start. Start messy. Start slow. Start scared. But start. Your future self isn't coming to rescue you. They're waiting for you to take the first step. And each step you take now becomes the foundation they stand on later. There's a kind of peace that comes from doing the thing you've been avoiding. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's steady. And once you feel it, you'll wonder why you stayed in the cage so long. So here's my quiet challenge to you. Pick one small thing. Do it today. Not for perfection, not for applause. Just to prove to yourself that you can. And when the excuses come whispering again, because they will, smile. Then take another step forward. If you find this video helpful, this next one right here will take you even further.